You know they want your guns, right? No, they've always wanted them, but mostly Democrats talk about gun control in ways they just kind of have to nibble at the edges a little bit. Well, they're going to stretch out a little bit now, and they're going to see exactly how much power they have because they own all of America's cultural institutions at this point. And look, our new freshman senator, Raphael Warnock from Georgia, he knows it.
We need reasonable gun reform in our country. This shooter was able to kill all of these folks the same day he purchased a firearm. But right now, what is our legislature doing? They're busy under the Gold Dome here in Georgia, trying to prevent people from being able to vote the same day they register. I think that suggests a distortion in values. When you can buy a gun and create this much carnage and violence on the same day, but if you want to exercise your right to vote as an American citizen, the same legislature that should be focused on this is busy erecting barriers to that constitutional right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely the same thing. Joining me now to talk about that and other things is Antonia Okafor-Cover. She is the national spokesperson for Gun Owners of America. Antonia, do you think they're serious this time about guns? I think they do. I think they think they're in enough power to actually do something about it. What say you?
Yeah, unfortunately, they essentially think that they have a mandate because of President Biden, who thinks that he was voted on because of a mandate on the Second Amendment. Look, if you think that, then you weren't paying attention in 2020 when we had over 8 million new gun owners added to the role of gun owners in America. So that is something that, essentially they're delusional when it comes down to that. And it was interesting in that clip that you just talked about with Warnock. Of course, he thinks that the fact of the matter is that we should be protecting constitutional right. Well, let me do one better than that. The Second Amendment is not only in the Constitution, it's not only a constitutional right, it's actually a human right, and it pre-exists the Constitution. So if anything, they should be protecting both, and that's what everybody should be doing. So I think that's where our actual loyalty should be lying, is our human right, not just our constitutional right.
Agreed all the way. So how do they go about it? I don't believe they're going to be able to pass legislation, but Joe Biden's already talked about going after gun manufacturers. They're clearly doing something with the ammo guys, because I'm paying 50 cents a round for 9mm at this point in time. What ways are they going after them?
Yeah, unfortunately, that primer not being here is making an issue when it comes to ammo. But yeah, it was really that run on ammunition, a run on guns, even particularly again in 2020. It wasn't even essentially the fact that people realized that it came down to their own rights in order to protect themselves. It was because of the government's response to COVID, where it was governors of every state saying, for most states actually, saying that the Second Amendment wasn't essential, that gun ranges, gun training, even gun shops were not essential. And so people were making runs to the store because essentially they believed, and it was true, that they weren't going to be able to even exercise that right that they already have. So that's why a lot of what we're seeing now with a lot of the high gun prices, high ammunition prices, comes down to the fact that a lot of people didn't realize how important that right, and honestly how little the government actually protects our rights on the state level, but also on the federal level as well. And we're seeing that with the passing of H.R. 8, the passing of H.R. 1446, that is now going to the Senate. We had 8 Republicans vote in favor of that. I mean, that's what we're seeing right now is government over and over again, not only not protecting our right, but straight up just infringing on our rights in general.
Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me. Thanks.